What's going on YouTube? Zach here with Card Stock Exchange, and we have our first mock draft of the 2024 football season. College football week 1 starts tomorrow, so this is the rankings for all the players as of right now, and this is the completely randomized projected rankings for draft order from PFF. So that's what we're using today. We're going to change this up in about 3 weeks, do another one when the new draft order is probably getting set with teams, as well as the new rankings for college football, right? Some of these guys might fall to the second round. There might be some fourth round guys that jump to the first round. Who knows? But this is what we're going to get into. It's 105 degrees out here in Texas. We got the hoodie on. Let's do our mock draft. So, starting off with number 1, the Cardinals. This one's easy. They're going to get rid of their 5'6" quarterback and go with Caleb Williams. Now they have Houston's pick because, well, they're saying that one's Houston's pick. Point is, one of these is going to be Houston's pick because we decided to trade this pick for Will Anderson. Again, I'm a Texans fan. A little salty about that. They're going to go Marvin Harrison Jr., who Houston probably could have had, or even Drake May, who's better than C.J. Stroud in my opinion. We'll see how the season turns out for C.J. Regardless, they get a pair, Caleb Williams with Marvin Harrison Jr., and probably trade Kyler Murray for a first-round pick. So next we have the Colts. They have Anthony Richardson. They're going to go best offensive player available to pair with them and go Brock Bowers. Also, this is like me acting as a GM for each team, what I would do. I take a little bit of consideration into what the team would do, but it's mainly what I would do if I was a GM. Next is the Titans. Titans need a quarterback, right? That's what they need. I don't think I love Ryan Tannehill. I'm an Aggie as well, but I think he's going to get released at some point. And then I think they're going to play a lot of Malik Willis and Ryan Tannehill to see what they have in both. And I think they're going to realize they have nothing, and they're going to go with Drake May. The Bucs are upset about that because they want Drake May. And I think the Bucs realize they need to rebuild for the future. Kyle Trask and Baker Mayfield aren't it. This one's tough, right? Do you just go offensive line and keep building that up until you get a quarterback? Do you go best defensive player available at this point in Jared Verse? I think they go tackle. I think they get the best tackle available at pick 5 and start building for the future, which is what the Cowboys did. And maybe they get, a quarterback in the second, third round. There's a lot of quarterback depth here. Next is the Rams. I think the Rams go best defensive player available. I think they go Jared Verse. Their defense is getting a little old with Aaron Donald as their main guy up front. I think they kind of spruce that up and go Jared Verse. Also, Bobby Wagner. I think he's still there, right? Yeah, he's old too. Next is the Raiders. Raiders need a quarterback. I don't think Jimmy G or Aiden O'Connell is a quarterback of the future. If I was them, I'd probably go with the quarterback who's probably going to have some of the most upside, right? In Michael Penix. Again, I don't really have a first-round grade on Michael Penix, maybe late first round, but we know quarterbacks are overdrafted every year, i.e. Anthony Richardson. Could be good. Saw him play against A&M. He's really a running back that throws the ball. So we'll see. I rest my case. Next is Chicago. I think Chicago needs to bolster their defense a ton. I could also see them going best O-lineman available for Justin Fields, which is probably what they're going to do. Joe Alt's a great O-lineman. Notre Dame always produces solid guys on the O-line. That's what they do to help Justin Fields out, and I think they address defense later. Next is Washington. Washington, I think they have a good defense, right? To be fair, their defense is getting a little old. I could see them going Chop Robinson, kind of bolstering that defensive front. Their offense is a little set with receivers. They could use a running back, but they're not going to. I don't think there's a top 10 running back in this draft like a Bijan, so I think they go one of the better ends in the draft. Next is the Falcons, and the Falcons are sitting pretty here. I think they're happy. I think they need a quarterback. I could see them overdrafting a quarterback here. To be fair, Michael Penix might fall this low. Yeah, this one's a little tough because I could see a bunch of different things happening. I think quarterback, I think they go with the quarterback who I think is going to rise the most. Again, I'm an Aggie, so you know where I'm going with this. This is a really make or break year for Quinn Ewers. Either he projects himself as a top 10 quarterback after this year, or he gets benched for Arch Manning, and there's really not much in between. And I think he does the first part. He does really good, and I think he ends up projecting as a top 10 quarterback because of kind of the overall skills he has. People forget he was a composite 100 recruit, was a top quarterback, top recruit in the country. I mean, he has the talent. It's just about putting it together, right? Next is Green Bay. Green Bay always goes defense. They're going to go Kool-Aid. I mean, that's what they do. And next is the Patriots. Patriots should get a receiver here. They should go with best receiver available. I think this is a situation where a lot of teams pass on a receiver, at least in this current draft order, because they don't need him. I think Emeka Egbuka is easily the second best receiver in this draft. One reason I'm scared for C.J. Stroud in the pros as a Texans fan, because he was throwing to him and Marvin Harrison Jr. last year, along with like Olave and Garrett Wilson the year before. Homie was throwing to 4 first-round receivers, right? And now he's throwing to Tank Dell and Tank Dell and John Mechie. Anyway, rest my case. I think they go Mecca Buka. And this is the second time we've seen Belichick draft a receiver in the first round. First time was that guy from Arizona State who was ass. I think they make up for it here and go with Emeka. Next is the Vikings. I think Vikings go best defensive player available. I mean, their offense is kind of what it is. I think defense, they could bolster that a bit in that division and go with that. I think Bears address their defensive needs here. We saw them go O-line earlier in the draft. Hell, they could go O-line again. If I were them, do I see any O-linemen that are... I mean, JC's pretty good. And just bolster that for Justin Fields. They could go Malik Neighbors. I honestly think Dallas Turner is going to rise up draft boards. I think he's one of the better edge rushers in the game in college football, and I think that's who they're going to go with. Next is the Broncos. Broncos, they have to go O-line. I think that's what they're going to do. I think they go J.C. Latham, who's a good O-lineman. Next is Houston. Man, hurts to be a Texans fan, I'll tell you that. I could see a lot of these receivers rise up the draft boards, right? Xavier Worthy's like Will Fuller, who we had a little bit ago, gets open a lot, drops a lot of passes. Johnny Wilson's one of those big body receivers. I think Johnny Wilson's going to rise up draft boards and do well. Funny enough, last year Kayshon Boutte was like a first-round projection, kind of like Malik Neighbors, and he fell to the 6th round. I don't think that's going to happen to Malik, but my point is these receiver rankings are like a crapshoot. Steelers are going to go defense, best defensive player available, probably on the back end, go get Cooper DeJean. Next is the Giants. I could see the Giants doing a multitude of things. They're probably going to go best O-lineman available in Graham Barton at this point. Their strength is Saquon Barkley. Why not bolster that? Next is the Saints. If I were the Saints, I would probably go defense. I mean, you could argue quarterback. I could see them going Jaden Daniels, right? Overdrafting him. He's a local guy. I think they go defense and get one of the better defensive linemen in the draft. I think that's the side of the ball they need to bolster. I mean, their offense, they have Michael Thomas, Chris Olave, Alvin Kamara. Good offense. Next is Seahawks. Seahawks are going to rebuild Legion of Boom, go get Carmen Kitchens. Good, probably the best safety in the draft. And yeah, the Jags. Jags need defensive help, right? They gave up like 27 points to the Chargers or whatever it was, like 27-0. Granted, they still won. But you can't be doing that with like Patrick Mahomes in your division, all that kind of shit. They go, in their conference. AFC, whatever I'm trying to say. And they go bolster defense, get a good linebacker in Latu, however you say that name. Chargers are solid on offense. They got receivers. They got Austin Eckler. I think they need O-line help a little bit. I think they go get Amarius Mims, bolster that O-line for Justin Herbert. He was kind of getting beat up a little bit last year. Next is the Dolphins. Great offense. I don't think they're going to touch offense early in this draft. I think they're going to go solely defense. Go get Josh Newton to put alongside Jalen Ramsey. Bolster that secondary. Next is the Lions. Lions, I could see them going defense. We forget they have Jamison Williams and Amon St. Brown, 2 potential number 1 receivers. Jamison Williams is just injured / suspended all the time. So I think they're going to go with probably one of the better ends, who I think is going to rise in this draft, and Braylon Trice to pair alongside Aiden Hutchinson. Next is Baltimore. Baltimore's got to go receiver. I think Xavier Worthy's going to rise up draft boards, right? He's probably going to fix his drop issues, hopefully, and be a first-round pick. Next is Green Bay. Green Bay's got to go defense again. I think they're going to go Leonard Taylor, just bolster that defense. That's what they do good. I don't think Jordan loves it, so maybe they address quarterback in the second round or help him out and get a receiver. Who knows? Who knows what they're going to do? That's what I would do if I was them, though. Just bolster the defense. Go to your strengths. I think it's a deep receiver draft as well. Cowboys. I think Cowboys, man, if I was the Cowboys, again, I'm doing this as if I was the team. If I'm the Cowboys, I bolster my defensive set. I go JT. JT's going to rise in this draft, I think. Go pair him. Could you imagine JT and Michael Parsons? I mean, that's a scary linebacker combo. So I think that's what they do. Next is the Bills, and they go running back. They have to, right? If I was them, I'd go running back. I'd go get best running back available in Braylon Allen. Next is San Fran. San Fran's got a plethora of receivers and whatnot. I think they go defense. I think they just go get a good linebacker. I think Mason Smith's going to rise. I think they're going to be intrigued by his talent. Isn't he suspended or something? He might be. I don't know. I forgot. I remember reading something about him. Point is, he's a stud. I think they go get him. Bengals probably going to go, if I was them, I'd go O-line. They have a good defense. They have a good offense. Go protect Joe Burrow some more. Homie's getting injured left and right. Go get Javen Cohen or whoever the best guard or tackle is available at this point. Next is the Eagles. Eagles go defense every year. If I was them, I'd probably go O-line as well, just because my O-line's getting a little old with Kelsey potentially retiring. I forget that tackle's name, but they have a lot of old O-linemen. I think they go make it young and get Zach Zinter. He's a really good guard. I think he's going to rise up draft boards. He's probably the second or third best guard in the draft. And lastly, the Chiefs. Man, if I was the Chiefs, I'd go get a receiver. Go get Malik Neighbors, who's arguably a top 15 talent, maybe, depends on this year, and just give Patrick Mahomes more weapons, because that's the strength of your team. And with that, we have our 2024 mock draft in 10 minutes and 30 seconds. Look at that. Let me know what you think. This is only the first rendition. Like I said, we're going to change it up a bit based on when rankings get changed, when draft order gets changed. Man, for all we know, they're like one of these guys could fall to the second round, fourth round, and the fourth rounder could come up, right? With that being said, though, make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below, and until next time, peace.